And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. This is a video that me and Kyle are doing. How fun is that? How we doing, Kyle?
What the fuck's with Kyle?
You cunt.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, well, fuck. Fuck. Um, no one's gonna get shot right now.
How long do you think it'll last?
I think now that the actors have gone on strike. Yeah, oh, by the way, the actors are on strike. Uh, I think now that the actors are on strike, this is probably going to go on for like another week or so.
Yeah. I hope it don't last as long as the writers strike, otherwise the movie industry is gonna be.
Oh yeah, Deadpool won't make its release date.
Yeah.
Um, which really perplexed me because they knew an actor strike could be coming up, and they decided to swap the release dates of Captain America, which has finished shooting, and Deadpool, which has just started shooting. So, bit weird. But everything, Kyle, everything has stopped. Deadpool 3's just shut down production. Um, pretty sure Venom's just shut down production. Marvel can't cast the Fantastic Four while while the actor strike's going on. They can't do anything like that. So this is fucked. This is fucked. And Hollywood is fucked.
They're like they're going into their sort of lockdown where it's like you can't, no one can do anything. You know,
Well,
first it's the writers for a long time, now it's the actors, hopefully for not as long.
I think
And
this
then,
they're all standing together now. It's like they're all coming together as one.
fair enough. I mean, I don't really know what's going on. I get the writer side of it. They don't really sort of get paid enough. I don't know. But they probably do or
Well,
don't.
it's same reason. Residuals.
Mm.
A lot of SAG members are your millionaire Ryan Reynolds, Brad Pitt. You know, those won't be the people who voted to strike. It'll be lower level actors who maybe appear on a TV show every now and then. And if let's say it's a streaming show, they're not getting residuals every time that show plays because how do you quantify something like that for a streaming show when there's no adverts? It's a set fixed rate every month. It's hard to do. I get where they're coming from, but I don't see a way that residuals can be worked into a streaming show.
I'm surprised that we saw this right, and we didn't see the whole VFX industry do a big strike as well.
Well, they're not unionized.
I know, but still, I mean, just
Again, if they're not unionized, they've got no rights and they can't go on strike.
I
It's not how it
suppose.
works.
Well, they need to get unionized because
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
VFX is everywhere now, so they deserve a bit of justice as well. Do you know what I mean? I like I'm not saying I'm a VFX artist. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near the level of these guys that do these movies, but I have animated a lightsaber on After Effects, and fucking hell is it long and hard. And I mean, it's the lightsaber is long and hard. Um, No, but the process of all doing it, do you know what I mean? It takes so much time to learn because you gotta learn the program and then you gotta learn how to do it. You gotta learn how certain ways to do it, and then you gotta get, you know, you've gotta put time into actually making the animation, the effect itself, the lightsaber itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not an easy process. Like, yeah, you can do loads of things now. Um, Technology has made it easier, but it is still really hard to make things look real and believable with CGI.
Yeah.
And if anyone that deserves a sort of a strike and a pay rise and definitely more time, more room to breathe, it's the VFX guys. Obviously, like you said, they can't strike, but you know, they need to be sort of unionized, because in this day and age, even movies that aren't like, a superhero flick or an action flick, you know, even movies that don't use any sort of action. Um, Look at Wolf of Wall Street. That was just CGI everywhere. On locations and stuff. Yeah, it was only green screen now and then, but it's still VFX.
It is.
Sorry, I'm boring you.
Yeah, you are.
Fuck you.
I think this is going to be over very shortly now, though.
Mm.
Because for the writer's strike going on, it's like, oh, it's alright. You've already writ all this stuff for us, so we're going to use it anyway. Stuff that's already been written, stuff they're already working on. But now the actors are on strike, so that means nothing's getting shot. So, shit time. It feels like reverse COVID.
It feels like all the writers and the actors have gone into sort of a lockdown. Like I said
Yeah.
before, something like this is obviously inevitable. It's gonna happen.
It's the
It's gonna
first
delay
time,
things.
the first time since the 60s that the actors and writers have been on strike at the same time.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
it is nuts. But
So
all we can
this
all
this
we can do is just look forward to it.
well, yeah,
To getting back on track.
but this affects our show as well.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be no casting news. There's going to be no. The writers have been on strike. There's been a lot of stuff. We're not hearing about stuff in development because the writers are on strike. So this needs to get resolved quickly.
I heard about a thing. It was an article on Deadline, and it was basically with the writer's strike thing. That they've sort of the waiting until they don't have any money left.
Yeah, they're going to bleed
For
them
them
out.
bleed them out. Which is pretty fucked. I mean, if any, like obviously the actors deserve pay rise. Everyone deserves a pay rise, and whatever you do, especially with inflation, inflation's everywhere. And so, with the writers especially, it's difficult because, you know, look at it this way: Stan Lee's a writer, you know, like yeah, he wrote Spider-Man and stuff like that. Yeah, he didn't design the costume or what he looks like or whatever, but he wrote what he should look like and who he is and what he is. He wrote the Avengers and Hulk and all this and that, and he's a writer. So if you can respect him as much, like you can respect him like he's a world-renowned star, like he's a big actor, then for these movies, yeah, obviously, the actors and stuff, you can give them, sort of love for the franchise and them sticking with it. Um, but the directors get love. I've noticed, like, I feel like directors get a lot more love these days, and writers need to get the same. Not just obviously praise, but you know,
Yeah.
money wise, if they're going on strike, they're going on strike for a good reason. Because at the end of the day, these guys create these characters and movies. They write them down. Without that writing, there's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's hard because obviously I'm on the side of these writers and these smaller level actors who aren't getting paid what they should be getting paid in residuals for shows, which is how a lot of these people would make a living back in the day. Of be on a show and then every couple of months or something they'd get like a check, like is $1,000 for appearing in this show, 10 years ago, stuff like that. But from the these guys going at the studio heads, let's actually go to the studio head, on the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger. I think we love Bob Iger here. He's
Not sure about the other Bob.
definitely not Chapek, but Iger's the man. Now, he has contract has been re-upped So he was only staying on until 2024. As CEO of Disney, he's now staying on until 2026. So that's good news. And he's also said, Marvel has kind of like flooded their own market. And he says we've got too much going on. They've over diluted it. What do you think? Do you think he's right? That Marvel has over diluted their own product and it's not making it as special as what it used to be?
I think when it comes to the shows, I think yes. With everything that they've announced, I'm not too sure. Like movie wise, I feel like because with the Marvel movies they want to do some new things, like Armor Wars and stuff, which is gonna be a sort of. I think it'll be a bit of like a Captain America and an Iron Man spin-off. Um, it'll be less like an Iron Man sequel and more of like a spin-off. Um, they've got a lot coming out, and obviously you know, Kevin Feige came out and said, they're gonna take it back a bit. You know, it's quality over quantity what we want.
Yeah.
So I think he's just saying the same thing.
Just reiterating what Feige said.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
saying it with different words. So I do feel like it has been a little over cumbersome, all that we are getting. I love having as much Marvel as possible, but I think
Yeah.
really the only problem is the shows. I think there's too many shows. Well, there was too many shows coming out far
Do
too
you,
quick.
do you know what it should be? It should be a 10-episode show a year and 2 films. Maybe 3 if Sony's making the Spider-Man film that year. That's... Yeah, I love getting as much Marvel as possible as well. But if they're not able to sustain it, go back to what we're working.
Yeah, because obviously times change and everything like that. Audiences change. People fall off after the Endgame. People stop watching Marvel, but it doesn't mean that Marvel are losing views. You're gonna get new views. You're gonna get new people getting
Yeah.
into Marvel. So the audience is still gonna be there. So just treat them the same. Don't obviously I get it. You gotta change it a little bit, change the formula a little bit, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
Yeah, I think
just
there was expecting too many people to stay, to follow a Marvel, who go to the theatres to follow it to Disney Plus to watch the show every week. Not everyone's us. Not everyone's going to do that. And I think...
I mean, even people that do have Disney Plus and watch Marvel movies in the cinema just aren't that bothered about the shows. I
Yeah.
know loads of people that are into the Marvel movies and they're just like, man, I'm not really bothered about the
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, no.
Um,
It's always
if
going to be
if
like that.
if it was a bit more limited in the way, it's like we could probably convince someone if it's like maybe let's say for example if you say to someone, oh, years ago when I don't know why I did that. I look like a fucking trying to do the when Daredevil was out on Netflix, right? And obviously we was into our Marvel movies and stuff like that. If we said to somebody, one of our friends, and we said, "Oh, there's this really amazing Daredevil show. It's on Netflix," they're more likely to watch it instead
Yeah.
of saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, there's Loki," and then a couple of months later, "Oh, there's Hawkeye," and then a couple of months later, "Oh, there's this, there's that," and it,
Within the
you know what
first
I mean?
year of them doing shows, they had 5
Yeah.
MCU
Oh,
shows
yeah. That's what I mean. It's
on
it's
there.
it's way too much, and it doesn't make it special. Do you know what I mean? Like Daredevil, really special.
And do you know what? So was WandaVision though when that first came back, because that was our first MCU thing in a long time.
Well, when that first released,
Yeah,
that
when
came
that
back. But yeah,
first released.
yeah, exactly. I loved WandaVision. I thought it was great. But yeah, no, it is just oversaturated now. There's way too much,
Oh yeah.
and people are just gonna get fed up of it.
Do you know what I think they should do? Scrap the Disney Plus Marvel shows, like trying to make new ones. And here's what they do. It's gonna sound a little biased coming from me. They make Daredevil one year, because that's been proven to work on TV. When Netflix cancelled that was their their highest viewed show. Like, on the week it was cancelled.
Mm.
That's top trending. It was a top trending show the week it was cancelled, and they did it out of spite because of Disney Plus coming out. Also, I'd say Loki. I think Loki really works well with the TV format.
Mm.
Obviously,
Yeah.
I've loved Moon Knight. I think that might even be my favourite Disney Plus show, Moon Knight.
Tell you what, I'll say this. Let's say they do one show that's going to be sort of it's going to have like it's going to be seasonal. They're going to have be seasons to the show, like Daredevil, for example. And then let's say we get one limited show, so it's shorter episodes. No, it's not shorter episodes. Shorter episode count. Still long, beefy episodes. Do you know what I mean? Still
Which
feels
even
like a
even
nice
Secret
show.
Invasion's fallen off with that. They've had 3 nice long beefy episodes, and then boom, episode 4. I loved episode 4, but it's less than 40 minutes long, including credits.
Yeah. So with that, I feel like that's probably the best approach is have like a new season of a show come out. So like Daredevil, let's say Daredevil season 2 comes out. We get what, two, stretch it at three, including the Sony movies, um, Marvel movies in the year. So 2 to 3 Marvel movies, one season, one continuous next season of a show. We'll say Daredevil, for
Yeah,
example, and then we get like a limited series kind of thing. Uh, because do you know what we don't really talk about enough, and I feel like this didn't get as much praise. I don't think it got the love it rightly deserved. Was the Halloween special they did? Like that felt like a
yeah.
really. I know that was only one, but it it really felt special.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
both the specials they did were great.
Yeah.
The special presentations. Werewolf by Night was really good, really good, and it was there was no commitment to it. It's a nice short story for Halloween that they brought out right at the beginning of the month. I'd much prefer it if they dropped it on Halloween.
Mm.
We'd have got it later, but it would have been like, oh, that's cool. And then same with the Guardians Christmas special. Guardians Christmas special came out like a month before Christmas.
Like it came out in January at that rate. Like January the year before. I mean, because it just felt like it came out too soon. They should do obviously like a special for something. I don't know what.
Well, apparently
Uh,
Nova's going to be the next one.
well, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. But I still like these limited run, series where it's literally a limited run.
Yeah,
Same with Moon Knight. Obviously, Moon Knight left us wanting a season 2. Just the way they ended it. You know, obviously we're gonna see Moon Knight return, but it's just it left us feeling like he's not going to return in a movie. He's going to return in his second season, and it obviously not. We don't know what's happening with that. They've said it was a limited run. It was a limited show, limited. So that means we're not going to get a second season. And then I remember you saying something about them taking out the limited in the
yeah, they
trailer or
did
something. And then there was that video of Oscar Isaac and the director, or one of the directors of Moon Knight,
together.
together in Egypt, and
Yeah,
they got questioned by a fan saying, is there going to be another Moon Knight, another season or something? And then Oscar goes, why do you think we're here? So
yeah. I do think like Oscar Isaac loves to play with people though as well.
he does, but I do hope we get another season of
Yeah,
Moon Knight. That's a show that shouldn't have been limited. Just with the way they ended it. If they ended it where it's like we know Moon Knight's in the universe now, he's doing whatever he's doing. It wasn't left on a cliffhanger.
yeah,
He exists in the universe. Then I'd be fine with it being a limited series. Now I want another season because it left on a bit of a cliffhanger.
yeah. I think the only hint we got to Moon Knight being in the MCU was the that thing on the bus. For the
Mm.
people to be relocated after they come back from the blip.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, I think Bob Iger's right.
I remember seeing a meme where it was like, because I know we were speaking the other day about Marvel movies and how they feel a little bit disconnected. Um, One of the things is every week people in the MCU, like just average people in the MCU in the universe, they've always got like a light show. Every
Yeah,
week it's big celestial. There's balls hovering above them,
the
or
sky
it's the
turning,
fucking
but
yeah the sky turning back in time. Um, it's just some crazy shit's going on, man. I wish they'd I get it. It's just part of the show and whatever. It don't really need to be acknowledged, but I wish it got a bit of acknowledgement.
yeah, it'd be nice. But I do agree with Bob Iger. Let's just bring it back a bit. Let's focus on that quality because I think you can really tell that Kevin Feige's been stretched a lot, and this is coming from someone who really liked Phase 4. We had Black Widow. That was, but then we got Shang-Chi. I like Eternals. I think it's different, somewhat different. Then obviously we get Spider-Man. Multiverse with Madness were fine. I don't want to speak for you here, Kyle, but I think us two like Love and Thunder a lot more than most people do.
I do. I liked it. I really enjoyed it when we first watched it. I thought it was a great laugh. It was silly. It was wacky. Yeah, it was a bit over the top, but I had fun with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do. I will say this: it's not a film I can rewatch over and over.
Yeah, no, but like I say like more than most people because most people fucking hate it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does. I do still do critique it.
yeah, oh yeah. It's
All was heavily wasted, but
yeah.
the stuff we did get was decent.
Um, I did like Wakanda Forever as well.
Yeah.
You know, Namor were good. Well, not anymore. But yeah, it's anyway. I really
You know what? Can I just say something? Do you know with Thor: Love and Thunder? Do you know how the head was sort of floating? Heimdall's son, when he's talking to Heimdall's son, and his head's just kind of like floating there, and literally everyone ripped it apart. Everyone were like, "This is so bad. Like, how have they gone from Iron Man 1 to this?" And it's like, I never took it in as, "Oh, this is really bad CGI." I took it in as this is intentional. It's supposed to look a little silly
yeah,
because that's Taika's sort of style. It's like a float. He's talking to a floating head. It's got Taika written all over it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
and all these people who've just bullied Taika Waititi off comic book films. No,
yeah.
he won't do another now because you've ruined it. This amazing Oscar-winning director will never do another comic book film, never do another Thor film, never do another film in that genre because, he made one that most people agree isn't that good. I mean, we like it, but we're not the majority on that. So and the same that happened with Ryan Johnson as well. Ryan Johnson is one of the best directors working today, and guess what? He didn't get to go and do his Star Wars vision that he wanted to do because of The Last Jedi and people's
I,
reaction
I
to it.
w- I will say this with the Last Jedi. I feel like I've always said this. It's a great movie. It's just not a good Star Wars movie. And I feel like if he did his own thing, like if we got to see Ryan Johnson's own original Star Wars spin-off movie, whatever it is, it would have been everyone would have loved it. I just think it tangled too much with what people know and
Yeah.
love.
What it would have been is just Knives Out, but in the Star Wars universe.
Lightsabers out. I'm down for that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of hell yeah, I think Tom Cruise is going to be thinking that this weekend. Dead Reckoning Part 1 is looking at maybe a 70.5 million opening. That's pretty fucking good for a Mission Impossible film. Do you think they're going to hit it, or do you think maybe they'll go? Do you think I'm doing higher or lower?
Um, I'd say just a little under. Um, just because it like I feel like people are getting a little sick of sequel. Like, look at Fast and Furious. They're gonna look at this film as like a Fast and Furious. Like, oh my god, there's another Mission Impossible. I remember going to cinema. One time I went to an IMAX screening for something, and that trailer played. They're like, oh my god, they're making another one. Someone said that in the cinema with us, and I was just thinking like, at least it's not Fast and Furious. It seems like it's got a reason to make this
Yeah,
film. There's a story behind it.
and we've seen it, and we know. Yeah, there was a good reason to make the story.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't wait for part two. I think
I'm,
I'm gonna go over. I think it might do a little bit over. Not a lot. I think it might do 75. I just I
I'll,
don't.
I'll say I'll say this. I know this movie is one of the big ones, but you've got to think like no one's talking really about this film, to be honest.
Well, a lot of people are saying this is their second favorite film of the year after Spider Verse.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's not. It's got like this hasn't got the prime spot for this month.
No,
Um, you
that
got to think like everyone's
that
talking
goes to
about
Barbie.
Barbie
Yeah,
and Oppenheimer. Do you know what I mean? That's all people are talking about. Um, so I feel like if this film released in a different month, you know, I feel like it would get a lot more. People will go see it more. The marketing would really have been there for this film. People would have been like, "Oh my god, that new Mission Impossible looks sick."
yeah.
I'm not hearing enough people talking about this film, and it deserves to be talked about because it is. I don't know anything about the Mission Impossible films, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and watch all of them again. Well, from I'm
I
gonna
want to go back and watch
rewatch.
this one.
Yeah,
So yeah, so it's looking for a nice, respectable opening weekend. This is something I think will have legs. I think people come back and not people come back, but I think a good positive word of mouth will get out there about it. Because if you look at things like Flash, like Indiana Jones, that positive word of mouth wasn't there. But it's funny because positive word of mouth for the Flash was there before the film came out, but it didn't have a good opening weekend. It didn't have any legs to stand on in the following weeks. So, but I think it's going to do good. And I
I think
think
it'll do well.
and part
It's
two's
Tom
already
Cruise.
shot. I think so. Makes sense, doesn't it? That part two's already shot.
I'll say this. I don't know if I got this around in the Mission Impossible review we did. I mean, it felt very different in the way they edited it. Like I'll say it was edited very weird
If
because they
you
should
have you seen the first?
no.
Very reminiscent of the first. A lot of Dutch angles and stuff like that. So that I think a lot of that was a homage to the first film.
All right, fair enough.
So if you'd have seen the first, you'd have been like, because I was sat there watching it, going, "Oh, this is a lot like the first. This is a lot like the first film in certain ways."
I'll
But
say this: the only thing that like kind of bothered me was just the sort of side angle, zoom in angle shot. Like what Michael Bay does when he's sort of pulling the camera up to like Sam Witwicky's face. Like he does that a lot. When he's literally doing nothing, he's on the phone, for example. They do that shot a little bit in this film where it's like tilted to the side, a bit too much.
well, that's what I
Um,
said. That's a lot from the first film.
no, I know,
Yeah,
I get that. I get it's like a homage to the first film, but it just felt a little jarring. I wish it was. I like that it's there. Like I said, I like the homage to it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I just wish it was a little less, just a little less.
yeah, a little less, maybe not as loud. Sorry, I just had to think of something like a nice
Tell you what,
segue.
the gunshots in that first in the sort of openings. Well, I'm not gonna say whatever, but that scene, the desert scene.
Mm,
It's in the trailers, but the gunshots in that. I don't know if it was the IMAX theater. I've never heard a gun sound so real in the cinema. Like that was just like it felt real.
yeah,
So
quality.
hats off to the sound department.
But Kyle, Anson Mount We talked a little bit about Multiverse of Madness earlier. He played Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness. He also played him in the Inhumans TV show. Now he said he's had some unofficial conversations with people at Marvel about returning as Black Bolt. So, simple question for this one. Do you want to see Anson Mount return as Black Bolt? Do you want to actually see him do something?
I'll say this: I wasn't too bothered about Black Bolt. Like, he just seemed a bit uninteresting in the show. I never really watched the show. Like, I never
I
watched
never did.
any of it. I just saw like clips and stuff. And it never really interested me. I thought like Black Bolt just seemed a bit generic in a way. But the little bit that we got in Multiverse of Madness, I was like, oh my god, I want to see more of this guy.
Do you know the bit that got me? When Strange has been out for over a year now. When he killed 838 Strange.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And just absolutely obliterates him. So I'd love to see Anson Mount return. Obviously, he's doing great things right now on Strange New Worlds, the Star Trek show.
Do you know what? I don't think this gets enough praise as well. The suit, like,
Completely
if you look at
CGI.
it, yeah, no, yeah, totally. But just the design of it is like, wow, that's a comic book accurate suit if I've seen one done really well.
It even had the wings.
Exactly. I will say this, right? It is up there with the Sam Wilson's Captain America suit. For me, I think it's just designed really, really well with the little fork in the head.
What do you think is the most comic book accurate suit we've seen
In the MCU?
in anything?
Ooh, that's a good question. I am gonna say, Ben Affleck's Batman.
I was gonna say Ben Affleck. This Kyle, we need to stop because people just think we're gonna be kissing each other's ass and saying the same thing. Stop thinking about the things I was gonna say. I'm gonna say Ben Affleck's Batman, and then second.
Joker.
No, go on. What's second?
Second. Ooh.
Before I say it, go on. What's second?
No, you say it. You say it first. You say it.
Let's
first.
say it on the count of three.
Weird. Right.
1, 2, 3. Deadpool.
Samuelson. Okay.
Fair enough.
Deadpool was my third.
And Sam Wilson's my third.
Alright, okay. Well,
so
same.
Yeah. But Kyle, boom, surprise, mystery fifth topic. I added it on after, but because I've got no passion in what I do, I couldn't be asked adding it to the others. But I've added it to this one. The boys are back. Well, the spin-off of the boys. Gen V, about the college campus in the boys' universe that teaches soups how to be soups, is releasing in September. Are you excited for Gen V?
I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to it.
I am looking forward.
It's more from the boys' universe. It's connected to the boys, isn't it? So it's obviously it's going to be connected. So if this wasn't connected to the boys that they've done so far, I don't think I'd be as interested because it'd just be like, oh, it's just like a spin-off silly show off the universe kind of thing. Like I liked the Boys Diabolical, the animated anthology show.
That had some great stuff in it, though.
I think it worked better when it tied in with the boys, like when they did the
final
Homelander.
The final episode was
that the Homelander one?
Yeah, that was canon, wasn't it, to the actual. Yeah, that were really good.
So this is going to be a spin-off, but it's going to have its own story, but it's going to be probably very connected.
Characters from the boys as well are in it. That one trailer we've seen A-Train in it. I'm pretty sure Homelander's going to be in it as well.
Homelander's got to be in it. It's
even if he just makes like a presentation or something like that to the college, it'd be great. So you're going to think I'm going off topic here, but stay with me. There is one thing I dislike about The Last of Us. And do you know what it is? It made The Boys be my second favourite show that's running right now. Because for a long time, The Boys was my favourite show that was running, that we was getting a season for every year or two. But now The Last of Us is. But that's how much I love The Boys. It is up there with The Last of Us
Well,
for me.
you're gonna fucking hate season 2 of The Last of Us.
I don't think I think they're gonna do it good.
We'll see what they do. I mean, I
You don't
can't
believe
imagine they're
you
gonna
don't believe
do
in
anything.
Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin?
I, I do because of how good the first season was. Like,
So
if the
that
first season,
so
if the
there's the
first season
game.
was mediocre,
Yeah.
if the first season was mediocre and it was just very generic, it was bland, there was nothing to it, then I'd be like, I'm not even gonna bother with
Because
season 2.
I'm not going to spoil Last of Us here, but what happened in Last of Us Part 2 definitely translates a lot better to, screen than it does game.
Mm, mm, I'm not gonna no, because you gotta think. Look at Red Dead Redemption. It's one of anyone's favorite story over any movie. Like, people love that story, and it's not because you can walk around the environment and interact. It's the story, it's the writing itself. It's a it's movie high tier star level, content. It's not just, oh, they've written a story because you need to shoot this or whatever. Uh, with the Last of Us, that's what the second game felt like a lot. It tried to change your feelings on things, and it really it's like we wanted more of
Well, I think that's what
something.
a good story does. It tries to manipulate your emotions
It did it a little bit.
and make you
It,
feel.
it did a little bit towards, like, I'd say after the middle part. This I'm talking about in the second game. It did it a little bit. I'm not gonna say what for, but it was just the first bit was kind of like, it just felt shocking because for the sake of shocking, it were like,
Yeah.
why did they do that? Like, you know, this is a story and that we love from the first one, and you could have continued it and done something cool with it. You could have expanded upon it, done more with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, still introduce new characters, do all this and that. It would just don't take things away and change things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And it's a story to do with what they please.
Of course, yeah. I just don't. I think Last of Us 2 is just gameplay wise, it's phenomenal. Story wise, I'm not for it. I came to terms with it towards, like I said, after the middle, when it made me feel like, oh shit, this is weird. I don't like this. Um, but still at the ending bit, it didn't like that's the only part it clicked for me where it was like, oh, I'm quite enjoying this a little bit. It's because it's doing something very, very different. But that was one moment. It only ever did it for me. Just one moment.
I think you're going to be
Not with
very
that entire
shocked.
game.
I think you're going to be very shocked come round to Last of Us Season 2.
I'm hope so. Like I said, I'll watch it now because of how fucking good The Last of Us 1 was.
Yeah. But
Season 1.
anyway, what's your... Off The Last of Us, what's your excitement level for Gen V, the boys? You excited? It's only, 2 months away now? September?
I'm excited. I hope it does The Boys justice. I hope it's a true spin-off. I hope it doesn't pull any punches. It just goes
Balls
bad
to the
shit crazy,
walls.
balls to the wall, bad shit crazy, like the Boys show does. Um, don't hold back. Yeah, do something different. I'm all
Yeah.
for that. I want to see this universe expanded.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I'm curious because usually spin-offs don't do well when the original show is still kicking. But if you take something like House of the Dragon, that came out 4 years after Game of Thrones finished? 3 years? and you make people wait, and then they've got that hunger for
Mm.
more Game of Thrones, then that works. But maybe people are gonna have hunger for the boys
I
because
think so.
it's been
Yeah.
over a year since season 3 finished. I think. Never mind, started or aired.
Yeah, no,
It's been
I
over.
definitely do, especially with like we were saying before, the oversaturation of Marvel. There's a lot of that, and it's like The Boys. It feeds that superhero genre, but it does it in a very different way.
Yeah,
It's like Marvel feeds you your main, and The Boys is like
dessert.
is like a dessert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I look at it, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I hope they do, because it's not going to be tied in with the main storyline of The Boys. Hope it does something different. Hope it just continues that crazy The Boys theme. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I've got faith in this. I do think it's going to be interesting. I just if it's bad, I'm going to be disappointed. It's like Amazon. Why put your money into that when you could have just made season 4 of The Boys quicker? So yeah.
I mean, do you know what? Amazon haven't let me down when it comes to superhero stuff. You got The Boys, you got the Invincible. Um,
Oh, just a quick one. A lot of people thought Invincible season 2 was supposed to be releasing today
mm,
because they tweeted some out ages ago when it says a duplicate,
mm.
and it said, oh, when she's a 7, 14, 23. Now we do dates the proper way, and we would put the 14th of the 7th 23, but the American way it's 7, 14, 23.
Wrong way.
The wrong way. And they tweeted that out about duplicate, saying when she's a 7, but she's also a 14 and she's also a 23. So a lot of people thought, oh, season 2 of Invincible's coming out on the 14th of July. Didn't happen.
I'm just checking YouTube now, making sure there's nothing that's dropped, like trailer wise. Yeah, no, we're good.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Amazon have let me down so far with superhero stuff, like I said. So, bring it all in.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I hope season 4 of The Boys has finished shooting now, actually, come to think of it.
Hopefully.
I think it has. Check that right now. Has season 4 of The Boys finished shooting? I just need to know, and I need to know on air.
Season 4 finished filming. Sorry, I'm so away from my keyboard. I can type faster than this. Production ended in April of 2023.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're good.
thank God. I think we could get that early next year, actually. Maybe
Yeah,
April next year.
I want to go back and rewatch it all.
Hopefully I get a nice birthday present and The Boys comes out on my birthday. But anyway, we're movies and beyond. But we've talked about strikes and TV shows. So, yeah. Anything you want to add, Kyle, before you go?
I'm fucking tired. Sorry we didn't do a show last night.
Yeah, Kyle is extremely sorry we didn't do a show last night.
Yeah, I was quite tired. I'm still quite tired. Um, Callum wanted to play Minecraft. I tried to get him on to do the show, but he just wanted to do the craft, man. No. But yeah, it was a nice roundup, I think, of for the end of the week. Hopefully we get some more nice news. Hopefully next week isn't going to be dry with all the strikes and things. Because
we might be dry, but we can still make videos. Me and Kyle, because we're a new channel. Obviously, there's a lot of things you don't know about us. So maybe if it's slow next week, maybe we do our top.
what are you going to say? Do a Q&A then? Like,
Nah, do our maybe we do our MCU list
tragic.
in entirety. Kyle, what are you thinking this weekend? Do you want to do top 5 Nolan films or?
I want to wait for Oppenheimer.
Well, no, that's the idea. We do it before Oppenheimer comes out, and then. So this, this is the synergy that feeds into it.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it a go. I do want to. Well, can we do one after then? We'll do a out of the theater thing. I want to get my placement in it then. If we're gonna
Okay.
do it that way, we'll do the graphic. We'll do a little graphic.
No problemo. We can do that.
Voice just went no.
No. But
No graphic.
anyway, this has been Movies and Beyond. I had a haircut for an hour today. So.
Well, you were on chair for an hour.
Man, don't get me started. I think he did a good job though. My headphones have been wrapped around it now, so it looks a bit weird on the side of my head. But yeah.
All I see is just fat.
Yeah, there's that. Also, subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Because Kyle needs it. Kyle needs subscribers to feed his family. This is the only income Kyle has. So if you don't do it for me, do it for Kyle.
Yeah, I'm very I mean I appreciate you.
Don't look in the camera and say that because I just got an erection. But yeah, so like, subscribe, share, show us to your mother, or don't.
I might shave this off.
Do it.
Tell you what, if we get another subscriber, I'll shave this off. I look like a convicted sex offender when I have it shaved off, but I'll do it for a sub.
Yeah, you won't catch me taking mine off because I don't have a chin. So.
Yeah, no, you have fucking. You have sausage rolls, mate.
I don't know how to end this now. You've completely thrown me off. So.
You look like melted ice cream.
Like melted ice cream.
In a white t-shirt. Yeah, because there's more skin to you now.
Yeah.
So it's just all white.
Kyle, mate, you look like a snapped ice cream cone.
You look like a vanilla. You look like a pot vanilla ice cream, mate. You like
Pot vanilla ice cream.
You look like someone's got a Ben and Jerry's, right? Fucking cookie dough and taking out cookie dough pieces out.
Do you know what you look like? You look like one of them straws that's got the milkshake in it that you put in milk and just suck it up. That's what you look like.
What, with the little chocolate ball?
Yeah, yeah.
What's wrong with that? They're tasty. Vanilla ice cream's boring as fuck. I mean, it's nice, but it's boring.
Everybody likes vanilla ice cream.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone likes it, but it's boring. Like, you need to add something to it.
No, it's not. Vanilla ice cream just goes with everything. Guess what? You want a brownie?
Vanilla is plain.
No, vanilla is vanilla, you dickhead.
Yeah, but it's plain. Like, people say, like, oh, you playing this game vanilla without any mods, or you know, whatever.
Right, Kyle, I suggest you stop speaking and let me wrap the show up before I come down to yours.
You fucking vanilla-looking motherfucker.
And I'll headbutt you. Now, I don't like the racial connotations that are coming towards me here, Kyle.
Oh my god. It's because you're over... You look like you've got a big white t-shirt on you, right? You've had a haircut. You're overexposed as fuck. Like,
well,
it's just...
Kyle, a racist confirmed. We'll end it at that.